Simple approach to carbon monoxide could explain the bond order and its magnetic property, but could not explain ligand ability of carbon monoxide. So we studied Coulson's model based on sp hybridization, which could clearly explain the sigma dative tendency for carbon monoxide as well as pi acceptor tendency. But one issue was there about Coulson's model. It could not describe decrease in bond length after ionization because outermost electron is in non-bonding orbital.
Yes, students, let us apply our molecular symmetry knowledge and basis of molecular orbital theory to explain in true sense MO diagram of carbon monoxide. CO plus and instability was not explained by Coulson diagram. Means hybridization concept considering carbon monoxide MO diagram. So without considering hybridization, but sp mixing we will consider. Why? Because this molecule has no horizontal plane. So s orbital and p orbitals of oxygen, s orbital and p orbitals of carbon, they can mix, but how? Energy sequence, 2s orbital of oxygen is near to 2s orbital of carbon, which is near to 2p orbitals of oxygen, which is near to 2p orbital of carbon, and by which all the four orbitals they do combine and different set of arrangement is there. So exactly bonding, anti-bonding, non-bonding, those concepts also will be clear to you. Now see the demo diagram.
Before actually studying the molecular orbital diagram, let us pay attention towards practical observation. Ionization energy for carbon monoxide was 14 electron volt, which is higher than the energy of 2p orbital of oxygen. And that is explained by Coulson model because one of the sp hybrid orbital of the carbon which has higher energy which remains non-bonding, and because of that dative ability as well as ionization can be described. Main point is about bond length. Bond length of carbon monoxide is 112.8 picometer, while monoionized carbon monoxide it is 111.5. It is decreasing. Bond length is decreasing after ionization means bond order is increasing after ionization. Bond order is increasing after ionization means outermost homo level should be with anti-bonding characteristics. That was not explained by Coulson model. Therefore, we are coming to this modern approach to describe the carbon monoxide, actual approach to describe the carbon monoxide. Let us see the MO diagram. Let us try to understand this little complicated MO diagram. If you observe neatly, if you pay attention properly, the complications you can resolve easily. See here, I have represented outermost orbitals 2s and 2p from each atom, carbon as well as oxygen. But out of those 2s and 2p orbitals, only two orbitals from each atom have represented by black coloration. They have same symmetry. They can produce a sigma bonding. They can produce a sigma molecular orbitals. Bonding, non-bonding, anti-bonding, it depends upon interaction. But as per our the basis of molecular orbital theory, total number of molecular orbitals produced will be equal to number of atomic orbitals combining. Here I am considering combination of four atomic orbitals. So how many molecular orbitals will be there? Four. I have represented those four orbitals in that diagram, but coloration is used there. See by pale blue coloration at bottom, 3 sigma orbital is represented. It is the lowest produced molecular orbital and highest produced molecular orbital is represented by 6 sigma star. Second highest produced molecular orbital is our 4 sigma orbital. I represented it by pink coloration. Electrons are there in that 4 sigma orbital. And further highest is 5 sigma. So how are the 4 molecular orbitals arranged? 3 sigma, 4 sigma, 5 sigma and 6 sigma star. In between them, pi bonding orbitals are coming. By red coloration, atomic orbitals are represented. 2py and 2pz. They can produce pi bonding. They can have pi interaction. They have pi symmetry. To produce two bonding pi orbitals and two anti-bonding pi orbitals. Bonding pi orbitals are represented by 1 pi and anti-bonding by 2 pi star. Idea about the decrease in energy of 1 pi compared to pi sigma was somewhat made clear in the simple approach as well as in the Coulson approach. But here, while producing molecular orbitals, the way of interaction is what important. Let me discuss each molecular orbital now in detail. Let us consider 3 sigma orbital. This 3 sigma orbital has major contribution of 2s orbital of oxygen. Means I can say that 3 sigma orbital majorly belongs to oxygen. Of course, share is there from 2s orbital of carbon as well as 2p orbital of the oxygen. Now come to the 4 sigma orbital. This 4 sigma orbital majoritically is obtained from 2p orbital of oxygen. Other orbitals also have the share, but I am talking about the major contribution. So it belongs to whom? Majoritically oxygen. Now come to the further higher sigma orbital. That's a 5 sigma orbital. It has major contribution of 2s orbital of the carbon. So it majorly belongs to carbon. And highest sigma orbital 6 sigma star, it has major contribution from carbon. So it belongs to what? Carbon majorly. Out of 4 sigma orbitals produced, two orbitals are belonging to oxygen and two orbitals are belonging more to carbon. Now the 5 sigma orbital which has 2 electrons, that's a HOMO orbital, higher occupied molecular orbital, because of which lone pair dominating tendency carbon shows in carbon monoxide, that can be described. Now our point of interest here is whether those orbitals are bonding, anti-bonding or non-bonding. That will help us to decide the ionization and the practical observation. 3 sigma orbital is majorly contributed by 2s and it is a bonding to that. So it is a perfectly bonding, therefore represented by sky blue color. 4 sigma orbital major share is from the oxygen 2p orbital and to that it is bonding. But to 2s orbital of the oxygen it is anti-bonding. So it has a mixed characteristic. Majorically, it has bonding characteristic, but anti-bonding characteristics are there in that orbital. And because of that anti-bonding characteristic, we consider it as non-bonding. Perfect reason I give little later. Now come to 5 sigma orbital. Major contribution is from 2s orbital of the carbon and it is anti-bonding to it. By the way, it is a bonding for 2p orbital of carbon. So it has both bonding as well as anti-bonding characteristics. So 4 sigma and 5 sigma, they have the both characteristics. Therefore, I represented them by separate color. That's a pink coloration. Overall summation, if you see, 4 sigma orbital has more bonding character and 5 sigma orbital has more anti-bonding character. In totality, within a molecule, the bonding character of 4 sigma and anti-bonding character of 5 sigma gets cancelled somewhat. So overall, those 4 sigma and 5 sigma orbitals do not contribute for bonding or anti-bonding. So we can say them as non-bonding. But in true sense, 4 sigma has little extra bonding character and 5 sigma has little extra anti-bonding character. Now let us speak about the practical observation and explanation by this diagram. Ionization energy of carbon monoxide was found to be 14 electron volt. Energy for HOMO should be minus 14 electron volt, which is higher than the energy of 2p orbital of oxygen. And we are finding there the energy of HOMO, that's a 5 sigma orbital, is larger than the energy of 2p orbital. So ionization energy concept, as was explained by Coulson method or the model, is explained by this modern approach also. Now come towards the ionization concept. We found that after ionization, bond length decreases. It would have been possible only if electrons do exist in antibonding orbital. And if you see that 5 sigma orbital, it has major contribution from 2s orbital of carbon, and to that it is antibonding. Even for 2p orbital of oxygen, it is antibonding. Only for 2p orbital of carbon, it is what bonding. But net result is what? Net result is anti-bonding. And because of the removal of electron from 5 sigma, the bond order somewhat increases, partially increases, causing decrease in the bond length. This explanation would have been not possible without consideration of the symmetry approach. Actually, how exactly percentage contribution is there, that I describe by means of one table. But I hope the concept is clear to you. For every orbital formation, other orbitals are contributing. Here few lines are not shown, means their contribution is poor or very less. It doesn't mean they are with no contribution. Purposely, during this description, I had not focused on pi orbitals. You will understand it very easily by red coloration. The 2py and 2pz orbitals on each atoms are represented. They will interact to produce the bonding set, that is a 1 pi, and anti-bonding set 2 pi star. The energetics will be what? The in between there. That energetics depends upon the extent of interaction, kind of interaction. Now let us assume the energy sequence 3 sigma, 4 sigma, 1 pi, 5 sigma, 2 pi star and 6 sigma star about what? The outermost orbitals. If you see in the outermost orbitals of the carbon, there are 4 electrons, and towards oxygen there are 6. So how can you distribute total 10 electrons? 2 electrons will be in 3 sigma, 2 electrons will be in 4 sigma, 4 electrons will be in 1 pi, and 2 electrons will be in 5 sigma. And 5 sigma orbital is the ever highest orbital in which electrons do exist, which has little anti-bonding characteristic. But overall, if we see the all orbitals from the molecule, then 5 sigma and 4 sigma, their contribution of anti-bonding and bonding respectively gets what? Cancelled, producing only the result of 3 sigma orbital as a bonding sigma orbital and 1 pi orbital as a bonding pi orbital. Because of 2 electrons in 3 sigma orbital, we can find one bond, and because of 4 electrons in 1 pi orbital, we can get 2 pi bonds. Hence, there are 3 bonds in carbon monoxide, 1 sigma bond and 2 pi bonds. Let us see the detailed contribution of individual atomic orbitals for molecular orbitals, especially for sigma orbitals we will have the discussion. I'll present in front of you one chart or one table. Statistically, data is produced in front of you. Their orbitals of atoms are represented upside. C2s means 2s orbital of carbon. C2px, O2s, O2px. Likewise, upper row atomic orbitals are represented. And left column 3 sigma, 4 sigma, 5 sigma, 6 sigma star, these are molecular orbitals. Our point of interest now is total contribution for those molecular orbitals from atomic orbitals. Say for example, 3 sigma orbital has contribution of 14% from carbon 2s orbital, 10% from carbon to px orbital, 63% from oxygen to s orbital, and 10% from oxygen to px orbital. So it majoritically contributed by oxygen to s orbital. Means 3 sigma orbital belongs more to oxygen. Till now what were we doing? Energy level, where it is, above, below, near or far. On the basis of that we were considering characteristics and contribution. But that is a vague method. Now, particularly qualitatively by studies we can get contribution, and from that we can what conclude. From that it will easy for us to conclude bonding nature, anti-bonding nature or non-bonding nature. If you see that 3 sigma orbital, 63% contribution from oxygen to s, and its energy is lower than oxygen to s orbital. So what do you think? It will be bonding, anti-bonding or non-bonding? Of course, it will be the bonding. And for all other orbitals, carbon to s, carbon to px and oxygen to px, it is bonding. So beyond doubt, 3 sigma orbital is bonding one. Therefore, I had represented that 3 sigma orbital by different color. 3 sigma and 6 sigma star were by different colors. Now come to 6 sigma star orbital, lowest orbital here. Major contribution is from carbon to px. So we can say that antibonding sigma orbital belongs more to carbon. And this orbital is antibonding to all. Carbon to s also, oxygen to s also, oxygen to px also. So this orbital is beyond doubt anti-bonding orbital. Therefore, I represented that orbital by one special color, sky blue color, 3 sigma and 6 sigma star. Since their nature was beyond doubt, no mixing, therefore one color was used. For 4 sigma and 5 sigma, hybrid characteristics are there. Mixing of bonding and anti-bonding characteristics are there. Let us see the 4 sigma orbital. Major contribution is of O to Px, 64%, and it is a bonding to oxygen to Px orbital. We can say 4 sigma orbital belongs more to oxygen, but I am talking here the bonding and anti-bonding characteristics. 4 sigma orbital is anti-bonding to oxygen 2s orbital. Otherwise it is bonding. And what is the contribution? 23%. And 5 sigma orbital is bonding to carbon to px orbital. Otherwise it is anti-bonding. And how much percentage it is? 32%. So 23%, 32%, they are nearly same. But majority 5 sigma orbital is antibonding and majority 4 sigma orbital is bonding. So net effect of bonding and antibonding is nearly cancelled. They can be considered as non-bonding orbitals. Therefore, 4 sigma and 5 sigma orbitals we have considered as non-bonding. By separate color I represented them. In true sense, they have their own characteristic of bonding and anti-bonding respectively. So students, it might be clear to you deciding bonding and anti-bonding characteristics is not so easy. It needs numerous data. experimental data, then only we can come to the actual conclusion. The way with which we were considering in general chemistry, in true sense, is no more always applicable. Okay, let us see the electronic configuration and other properties of the carbon monoxide as per the modern approach. See here, net result is represented. 3 sigma is a net bonding orbital, 6 sigma star net anti-bonding sigma orbital. 4 sigma and 5 sigma are net non-bonding but respectively are bonding and anti-bonding. And by red coloration, 1 pi and 2 pi star are represented. Those are respectively net bonding and net anti-bonding. So electronic configuration you will understand. From electronic configuration, bond order is calculated and answer is 3. Since there is no any unpaired electron or all electrons are paired, molecule will be diamagnetic in nature. So all aspects, bond order, magnetic property, ligand tendency, back bonding, ionization, all can be explained by this modern diagram with symmetry and molecular orbital theory actual approach. Is this approach clear to you? So students, it's a time of homework now. Only one question is asked here. Why is bond length of ionized CO is less than unionized CO? CO plus and CO bond length comparison you need to do. You are supposed to write the answer of the question in comment box. I'm waiting for your answer.
Yes, student. Is it not overwhelming? Superb. Molecular orbital theory is superb. It can explain perfectly the practical observation of energetics of molecule. But previous approaches were to simpler extent. In general chemistry point of view, those approaches are there. Lower learners. Now you are the graduate student, you are going to become a graduate. And molecular symmetry you have studied. So I discussed this application of molecular symmetry to explain, to rationalize the modern modified molecular orbital diagram for carbon monoxide. Let us discuss in next part polyatomic molecules. In that, at the beginning, we will discuss H3 and H3 plus.